morning, gentlemen. Good morning. We are moving on to angles. And before we start drawing angles, start measuring angles, we need to understand a few basic things about angles. So have you heard of the word angles before?
Yes.
Okay, can someone tell me what it means to them? So what does an angle mean?
A line that has a... I don't know the exact translation.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Yeah?
It's like the curve between two lines.
Curve between two. I like the part two lines. Don't like the part curve between them. Yep.
I don't know the exact terminology, but it's like the real where the two lines meet.
Exactly. So an angle is formed when what meets? Two lines meet. Can you look around in the classroom? Stay where you are, but look around and and then raise hands if you can see an angle. Yes.
The side and bottom of the whiteboard.
Exactly. So this corner, so this side and this edge, are they making an angle?
Yes.
Yes. Anything else?
The screen of your laptop like that.
Exactly. Screen of my laptop. So it's a different angle to that made between the edges of a whiteboard. Stop biting your nails, please. Yes.
The whole of this clock is a revolution.
The whole of a clock, okay, is a revolution. But where's the angle?
The angle.
The hands.
The hands of a clock, yes, a very common example. The tripod, yes, and different legs of the tripod are making different angles between them.
The tables.
The tables, the edges of a table, so we see angles everywhere, yes?
Yes.
So, how are angles made when two lines meet? Are all angles the same? No. What are perpendicular lines? That is the second thing that I've written. What is special between... Have you heard of this word before?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, no. Can we please be quiet and only raise hands if we need to say something? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Perfect. Yep, perpendicular.
Two lines, and if you keep drawing them out forever, they will eventually meet.
Okay, that... Okay, what does that mean? What do you mean? Not from here, from the back, please. What do you mean? Keep drawing two lines that meet.
Two lines, and they cross each other, or they will meet.
So are they perpendicular? So any two lines that meet, are they perpendicular? No, they're not.
The perpendicular lines are two lines that never meet.
They're parallel. Alright, I'll give you an example. If this is a side, and this is a side, one person speaks at a time. We can't forget that. These are perpendicular. My laptop screen is not perpendicular to the base, but these are perpendicular. What's special between these two? Yes?
They form a right angle.
They form a right angle, another special word that we're listening to. So what is a right angle? Stop biting your nails. What's a right angle?
A right angle, it's an angle that is 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Does that make sense? Have you heard of it before?
Yes.
Okay, let's agree to that. Then what's a wrong angle? Is there a wrong angle? No. So there's just a right angle. What's a right angle? Angle equal to 90 degrees. So this is what a right angle looks like. Okay? So this side of the board and this side of the board, they are perpendicular. So perpendicular is another way of saying that there's a 90-degree angle between them. Another way of saying a 90-degree angle is putting our pens down and listening. Thank you. Another way of saying a 90-degree angle is a right angle. Are we clear on that?
Yep.
So we've learned in the last couple of minutes what is an angle. So angle is formed when two lines meet. That there's something called a right angle. And then we looked at different kinds of angles in the classroom. And then we also learned about perpendicular lines. Do perpendicular lines meet? Yes, if they have to have an angle between them, don't they have to meet? Yes. So something like this. Again, it's not the best drawing ever. Okay? Now, parallel lines.
Two lines that are the same distance apart that will never meet.
Perfect. You've actually answered it really well. Two lines that never meet. And why don't they ever meet? Because they're the same distance apart. What that means is, if I draw two lines, but the distance between them is changing, don't they actually meet? Right? But what if the distance between them is fixed? Like the opposite edges of this table that you're sitting on. Are they the same distance apart?
Yes.
Will they ever meet?
No.
They're called parallel. Like this. So two lines that are the same distance apart from each other at all points, they will never meet. They are parallel lines. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how do we represent parallel lines? We draw parallel lines and we draw matching arrows. That means if I've drawn one arrow here, that means they're parallel. Or I can draw two sets of arrows. Does that make sense? So these are parallel. Are these two parallel?
Yes.
Yeah, again I can draw matching arrowheads. So matching arrowheads are a way of the book or for you to tell someone that the lines that I've drawn are parallel. Will they ever meet? No, they shouldn't, because the distance between them is fixed. Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
Where should we be facing? This way. Yes? Great. What is a line? Yes?
A line is a straight line. It's just not a line.
Straight.
line.
Can't even
Straight
can't
line.
even
Line.
term
Straight.
is
A line doesn't have straight and straight.
Okay, one person speaks at a time so I can actually listen to them and understand what they're trying to say. Okay, so it's a straight line. Yes, it has to be straight. Does it ever end?
No.
It doesn't.
Does it ever end?
It doesn't have to.
So can it end?
Yeah.
If it ends, then it's not a line, technically, mathematically. Exactly. So when in mathematics, when we say a line, it just is a straight thing, and I've put arrows on both ends. What do the arrows represent? They're not parallel, there's just one thing. What do they represent? It keeps going. In which direction? Both directions. Does that make sense? Can I draw a line completely ever? No, because it can extend both ways. So it's called a line. Yes?
What if a line like has a curve in it?
Then it's a curved line, it's not a straight line. It's an arc, or we call it other words. Okay? It's not a line then. Are we clear on a line? Does a line have an endpoint? Which directions can a line be extended in? Both ways. Now, what is a line segment then? What does the word segment mean? Can you stop looking at your nails, please? What is a line segment? What does the word segment mean? Yeah, you.
I don't know.
Okay. If you finish playing with your nails, you can focus. Yes.
It's like a section of something.
A section of something. So what would be a line segment? A section of a line. So, line segment is a section of the line and has how many endpoints? Look at the diagram. Two. Has a fixed length. So if I asked you to draw a line, I would just say draw a line. If I ask you to draw a line segment, I'll specifically say draw a line segment of length 5 centimeters or 10 centimeters because it has a fixed length. Does that make sense? Yeah. So line segment has how many endpoints? Two. Then array. Where do you use this word in everyday life? A ray of sunshine, right? Sunlight. A ray of hope. What? Yes.
It means like a line that starts somewhere and keeps going.
Exactly. It has a starting point. So let's say the sun rays, they start from the sun and they keep going indefinitely. Right? So how many endpoints would a ray have? You guys are so smart. 5 minutes ago, didn't know anything. Oh. Does that make sense? How many endpoints does a ray have? One. And then keeps going indefinitely in the other direction. How do we represent keeps going? With an arrow. Make sense? Last one, the easiest one, but the hardest one to explain. What's the point? What is the point of even doing it? What's the point? Yes.
A specific place on a line or an angle.
Does it have to be on a line or an angle?
A specific point on any shape. Or
Anywhere.
Or angle or anything.
It's like a dot that can be seen like anywhere. Kind of.
Yeah, it is a dot. Yep, okay. But can we explain, does it have dimensions? How long can it be? How wide can it be?
It's just a dot with no length or width.
Yes, there's someone who's read the book. It's a dot that does not have any length or width. So it's supposed to be dimensionless. So when you draw point, make sure you're drawing it with a sharp pencil and just do this. Don't sit there and make this a point. That is not a point anymore. That is a circle. Is that clear? So this is not a point. That is the closest representation we can have of a point. Is that clear? So is the point supposed to have a length or a width? No. Does it have to lie somewhere specific? It can be anything, anywhere in space. Does that make sense? How many endpoints does a line have?
0.
None. How many endpoints does a line segment have? How many endpoints does a ray have? 1. What are perpendicular lines? Lines that have a right angle. What are parallel lines?
Lines that have the same length.
Lines that never meet. When is an angle formed? When two lines meet. That's it, 6A. Done. Questions? Yeah, I'll write the notes later. Do you have any questions?
What if lines are like gonna? What if lines meet each other, except they're not on a 90-degree angle?
Then there's other types of angles that we'll learn about lesson 2. All the wrong angles. Any other questions?